there's 3 things that I got out of Mark Kohler that just are gonna change our lives, and she's gonna love it because one includes flying. So I go to this hot chick and I tell her, hey, I got a gym with equipment. She's not gonna go home with me. But if I tell the chick, hey, I got a Lambo SVJ and I also got a 458, she's gonna go home with me. Apart from just California being horrible with all the taxes, and now with Biden, which looks like he's gonna be the president, we're fucked. So we gotta move somewhere else. The biggest mistake I made was getting rid of my real estate. I should have kept it all.
Everybody wants to be successful, but very few actually want to put in the work, right? And what does that mean? That means self-improvement. That means, you know, having the right friends, the right relationships, doing things like this that might not be super fun, because it's always more fun to go have dinner and do things that are not actually gonna benefit your future. So hello all of you, sorry we missed you guys last week. We were actually in Orlando with Alpha Slice, and we were planning on doing Driven Couples, but it was just insane over there and it just did not work out. We had all the equipment and literally we couldn't make it happen. It was a little bit more complicated than we thought it would be, but we're super happy to have you guys today, and we have a lot of knowledge because you're going to teach them what?
Taxes.
Write-offs, how to do it. How to grow your
That's
business.
why I have 2 watches.
Oh my goodness.
More than 2 watches, Alpha. Why wear 1 watch when you could wear 2?
Oh God. Ay. Okay, so come on.
Yeah, well, you talk about it a little bit. You didn't say about Puerto Rico and how the trip was.
So, yes.
Did you guys have fun? Because for me, I came back, like I pressed the reset button and I'm like recharged, and came back, spoke to Bobby this morning. He gave me a few tips, and I just been like, every time I go away, I talk about, he distracted me with his watches, Alpha Slice. But every time that I go on a trip, people, I don't see it as a vacation, you know, like I'm just there visualizing and thinking. I'm like drinking and thinking, eating and thinking, drinking and thinking. And I'm always thinking. So I always, and I want to like abuse my vacation, because I want to get sick and tired of the vacation so that I come back, and I come back fully focused on work. So I've been so focused with this work, and then I flew to Mark Kohler was asking me like, why are you coming to Idaho, Rexburg, like this place? Do you know how it is?
Here.
And I said, well, you're the expert in taxes. I gotta go find out. Like, there's tax people that are gonna tell you, hey, you could write off an expensive watch. Hey, you could write off your car. Hey, you could write off your home. You could write off your pet. But there's a lot of tax people that get you in trouble because they don't know what they're doing. So,
Yeah.
And we had bad experiences with
Source
previous
of your
tax
advice
people.
again.
So Mark Kohler, if you guys look him up, if you guys go to YouTube and search Mark Kohler, he has 102,000 subscribers on taxes. Like, I get it, if it's like porn, you'll have millions of subscribers. But for taxes, like, who's gonna have 100K subscribers on a topic that's so boring? Like, even like Ryan's World, like, yeah, like people like to watch, the kids like to watch little kids play with potato chips and crayons, and they go over like toys and break them. They do a lot of like weird things, the kids, but people like that, and people like to see entertainment, funny things. But taxes is boring, so if you guys are not into getting bored, this is gonna be a boring episode because it's about taxes. But he showed me how to write off pets.
Nice. So if I can touch on having a vacation, we normally always take off after Driven, which is our biggest event. And we have that once a year, which is in September. But this year we just didn't want to lose the momentum, so we didn't go out of town. We decided not to, and then we figured we were gonna find, the right time to kind of take off and disconnect for a few days, which again, like he said, it doesn't really ever happen because there's always things to do in your business, and there's little things that need attention. Doesn't matter if you're out of town or not. But I really did recharge. If I could have skipped Disneyland, aside from seeing our friends, I would have, It was a
I mean, I
terrible
wouldn't
experience.
have because
I would have. It was
we.
awful.
I mean, we. If it weren't for Mickey Mouse, we wouldn't have seen our friends.
Well, see, yeah, like I would have rather have went out, had some fun, not really went to Disneyland because literally it was a nightmare. I figured Disney World is gonna change my opinion on Disneyland. No, horrible. But I love seeing Jomar, I love seeing Alpha, I love seeing all of our friends out there that were able to meet us in Disney World, sorry. And yeah, but I hate Disneyland. It sucks so bad.
But do you notice that
My kid was happy.
Do you notice that when we leave and when we come back, I have like I get on this mode.
Yeah.
Like just this serious work mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but vacation was amazing. If you guys ever go to Puerto Rico, it is insane. It's called Dorado Beach at the Ritz. It is, I've never found a place that I love more than that, at least not until you take me to Bora Bora and all those other exotic places, which is gonna be soon. And it's just amazing. Like you have your own personal pool, you have your own personal jacuzzi. It's like a beautiful suite, a 2-bedroom, 3-bath,
and Mark,
kitchen, everything.
Mark told me, because remember I told you we have to travel like on a Thursday, Wednesday, get through the weekend, and then leave like Wednesday. Because then you get to write off the whole weekend. So the weekend, we're like having family time and we're enjoying the pool, drinking mimosas. It's a write-off.
Well-
Because we went there to work
Yeah.
on the Thursday, Friday, and then we're stuck there for the weekend. So like we have
That's
to deal
so
with
sad.
it. But then Tuesday we work and he asked me, Mark, well, I said, well, I do lives and I do all that stuff. And he said, yeah, but that's not enough. Did you have like a workshop where you met with people that follow you or are in your coaching program or something and talk about business? And I said, yes, we did. I met with a group of 5 people at Disney World and we sat down and we went over business. Weren't we talking like for hours about business?
Yeah.
So we had a little conference there, a mini conference with Jomar and Alpha Slice.
I
So
have proof. I recorded
Yeah, you recorded it. So IRS, if you're watching this, I have proof. So that makes it a write-off. So if you go to a restaurant and let's say you buy an expensive bottle, it makes it a write-off. So you get to write off like a lot of things. So it's really cool. But for those of you that are watching this on the Zoom, and if you're on Instagram, anybody that asks a question, so we're gonna pick the better questions, like questions that are gonna teach knowledge, good knowledge for people, for entrepreneurs to learn and get better. We've been very blessed to get to where we are, but we've invested so much money in mentorships. Today I was really excited because I have those 2 guys that I'm about to announce for the bootcamp. Bootcamp is almost sold out, so if you guys haven't gotten your tickets, get your tickets. I have huge news probably tomorrow to announce about the bootcamp. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, get your tickets right now. Send a message right there. Steph's behind, right there in the middle upper corner. On
Say
her
hi,
phone.
Steph.
She's really excited today. And yeah, if you guys ask questions, we're gonna give you $100. Anybody that asks a question, goes on video, you'll get $100. And if your camera doesn't work, if it's a good excuse, then you could talk, but we prefer video. So let's pick a good question.
Let me tell my
So start
friends.
asking the questions. Just comment on or chat and put your questions so we can start picking you guys.
Let me tell my friends
Yeah.
something. So do you guys think, okay, Albert, so we had a little incident in Puerto Rico and I wouldn't say accidentally, but I drank something I've never drank before. What was it? Some pink stuff without bubbles.
That's your excuse.
Anyway, that's my excuse because I got super buzzed.
You just overdrink.
Yeah, I overdrank. I
You need AAA classes.
Shut up, AAA. No.
That's AAA.
What is it called?
Double A.
Anyway, so I didn't
is it double?
accidentally, but
Yeah,
the
it's A.
hotel, where we stayed, the resort, there was like this bottle of some pink stuff. It just looked so good, and I really wanted one more glass of champagne, but I didn't have any. So anyway, I ended up drinking it, and yeah, he was really mad at me because I got a little bit buzzed. A lot of
You
it.
got drunk, not buzzed.
Okay, I got drunk. And then, yeah, so I basically didn't drink for the rest of the trip. And then he was like, okay, if you don't drink for a year, I'll give you $250K cash, literally.
Half quarter million
Quarter
sounds
million.
more sexy.
And what happened? What did I do? I messed it up yesterday.
I mean, I was actually kind of excited because now I get to use those 250K maybe on the Lambo.
Because I figured, I'm like, it's my money too, so, o sea, it just didn't seem like a good trade-off because I love hanging out, drinking with all of our company and people and having fun, right? Not that I needed
Yeah.
to have fun to...
There's three things that I got out of Mark Kohler that just are gonna change our lives, and she's gonna love it because one includes flying, like Superman.
Yeah.
So and that means paying 0 taxes.
Having our own plane, which is what we already
I mean, yeah,
decided.
I always said that when I had a jet, I wanted to have it young,
Yeah.
not old.
It's so bad.
So Mark, he taught me a lot of cool things, and he also corrected me on things that I messed up on. So we're gonna correct those things. But these guys are the best of the best. Actually, my buddy Ed Milet, I'm gonna connect him with Mark. So they're gonna do something together.
Ed Milet?
Yeah, hopefully his previous tax guy is not watching this.
Wow.
But yeah, guys, questions? Do we have any questions yet? Let's get the first question, and then I'm going to share those three things. Very, very, very cool things.
I can't wait to
First
have a
question
plane.
is Anthony Corona.
Anthony Corona.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Hi.
What's up, brother?
Hey, not much, just chilling. So what qualifies as a business expense and what qualifies as a personal expense? And of the two, what can you write off / can't you?
You said it as a business expense and personal expense?
Yeah, like, how do you qualify one over the other? Like, clothes, I know you can write off as business because if it's like a uniform or it has your logo, it's a business expense. What are the parameters? What can you write off? What can't you?
Well, it's very tricky for different industries. And the first thing that I'm going to say here is I'm not a tax expert. So I know a little bit about taxes, but a lot of things I don't know. And what I do now is I text my buddy Mark. So I just text him, hey, what do you think of this? And then he'll tell me. But for example, like the entertainment, you used to be able to write off entertainment. Now you can't. It's like a really tricky situation. So now it's hard to do that, and they're not doing it as easily as before. But now there's other things like the Puerto Rico, where you go to Puerto Rico, and you're always going to get like different input, different thoughts. But you got to watch the source of your advice. I always talk about that. So Puerto Rico, for example, I think it's 4%. You don't pay federal taxes. You only pay 4% if you move your business to Puerto Rico. But there's also a lot of complications. So it's very important to know who is telling you who's giving you the information, because sometimes you can't write it off. For example, a watch, you could write it off, but it's also tricky. You have to pick. In other words, you have to pick your poison. For example, if you're gonna write off this, and everything, you're gonna get popped for something. They're gonna contest it, and then you're gonna have to fight for it. So sometimes it makes sense to not write off your watch, not write off your car. So it has to make sense. For example, when you give a Rolex as a gift,
Like you?
for compensating people that perform well, that's not a write-off. I don't know if you guys know that, but it's not a write-off. It seems like a write-off. It used to be a write-off, but now it's not a write-off. You have to eat it up. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to give the watch, but you're supposed to let people know in advance, hey, by the way, you're gonna get $10.99 on the cost of the watch. So I'm gonna give you this $10,000 watch, $12,000 watch, and then you're gonna get a $10.99 for this watch, because you can't write it off. So you either eat it up, or you let them know that you're gonna give them a $10.99 for the cost of it, so that they pay taxes on it. Not you. If not, then you're gonna give away that watch. You're gonna pay taxes on it, and that's what it is. But I don't know if you have a more specific question, or maybe something more deep that I could answer.
Would that be handing off the tax? Because the cost isn't going to them, but only the taxes.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So for example, if the person
only the taxes.
Yeah, if the person made 50 grand, you give them a watch, and now they made 100. Now they made 60 grand. Now they're gonna have to pay a little bit more taxes, which is not a lot, but you're not gonna have to eat up the cost of the watch. So it's just little things. Like at the end of the day, the way I believe the way I think is I don't worry about baby money. You know, I don't worry about peanuts. I focus on all my attention on making more money, because creating more income solves any problems. You don't have to worry about taxes. You don't have to worry about anything. And at the end of the day, also, it's going to be your net income. So it doesn't matter if you live in California, if your net income is low. If you could find a way to write off stuff, like for example, we're in California right now. So I'll give you another example that was going to be one of my takeaways. So Mark suggested, if I'm going to owe $3 million in taxes, buy a $3 million jet.
Write it off as a tax expense.
And I could write, and if I buy it December 31st, I pay nothing. Nice.
His face.
And now I have a jet. So we're looking into jets. I mean, it's I'll say it here first. We're looking into jets. We're looking into like maybe a $3-4 million jet, and we're gonna shop around.
G4, G6.
I mean, we're gonna see options, but like people say that gasoline is expensive, and a lot of the newer jets, the gas they're gas friendly, so it's not as bad. It's not as bad, but if you think about it and you do the cost, like for me, like I said, I don't worry about small amounts, but I'd rather pay a little bit more than JetBlue Mint seats or first class seats, and then people are bossing you around. They're making you wear the mask.
You have to be around a lot of unpleasant people.
It's horrifying.
It's
horrifying. It's like horrible experience. So I don't want to do that, especially with traveling with 2 little girls and all the luggage, and then we take the nanny sometimes. It's just not worth it. So it's almost the same cost. To give you an example and an idea, it's almost the same cost. It might cost a little bit more having the jet with all expenses, because now you need a pilot. But paying that, when you bring into consideration the pain, the idiots you have to deal with,
Yeah.
wearing the mask,
Yeah,
wearing the
it's
mask,
so bad.
and all the time that you waste, like it's even cheaper to have a jet. And then you pay no taxes, like it's a no-brainer. And let's say if you're making, maybe you're not gonna owe that much in taxes, but maybe you're gonna owe 500,000, $500,000. You could buy an SUV that's 6,000 pounds or more, and then you don't pay taxes. So even though Alpha Slice has a Lambo and a Ferrari, and he's like, it's already, but I saw him shopping for another car. He said, no more cars, but I saw him on his stories. He was like looking for another car. So if Alpha is gonna listen to me, he's gonna be smart. He's not gonna buy another exotic racing car. He's gonna buy a 6-pound car. So what I learned from Mark, 6,000 pound car. What I learned from Mark, it doesn't have to be an SUV. So I could get Mikey Garcia's Phantom, because it's 6,000 pounds.
Míralo.
It's 6,000 pounds. So it doesn't have to be an SUV. So if you get a Rolls Royce Phantom and it's 6,000 pounds, which it is, then it's a write-off. So that gives you some ideas. You could use that, but then see, Mark and me, I don't know if I'm going too much, but do you guys like what I'm saying? Like if Mark, give me a thumbs up if I'm exciting or not, because you guys seem kind of bored. All right, so Mark told me, because see, Mark and me disagree on certain things. So when you see the podcast, we went kind of back and forth, and I got a little red, he got a little red, and we almost, because he likes boxing too, we almost got into it. Right, Roger? We were kind of like arguing a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't agree with my exotic cars and the Ferraris and that kind of things. But I don't agree with him either on that. And remember, he's a tax expert. He's not a marketing expert. And by the way, Mark, love the guy. That guy took me to the airport. He picked me. He even got me pizza.
Oh, you like pizza?
So he's amazing guy. Like we're buds. I text him for every question I have now. But one of my principles is I don't agree with everybody 100%. So even though Bobby Castro and Bobby knows this, even though he sold the company for $1 billion, it doesn't mean that I agree with 100% of the stuff he says. We have different tastes. So maybe I'll agree with 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, who knows? But I don't agree with everything Mark says. I don't agree with everything that Grant told me in the past. I don't agree with everything that Patrick but David told me in the past, or Ed might let. But I agree, I take the things that I like, and I'm just authentic on myself. So I was telling Mark, like, but it's marketing. And he didn't see it, because he said, like, well, Albert, instead of getting a Ferrari, you could buy a business with equipment that it's gonna be a write-off, 100% write-off if you buy a business with equipment, like a gym. You buy a gym with equipment, you could write off all of that same year, and it's a write-off. And then it's an asset because it's gonna produce income once you start running the gym. And right now you could buy a gym cheap because a lot of gyms went out of business and they're scared of, they don't know what's gonna happen with COVID. So you could buy a gym right now for cheap. Once they open, you hold on to it if you have money, if you have reserves, and then you start making money later. So he said that's a better investment. But I said, like, look, Mark, let's talk about it this way. If I go to the club to live down the street from Alpha Slice house, and I go to this hot chick and I tell her, hey, I got a gym with equipment, she's not gonna go home with me. But if I tell the chick, hey, I got a Lambo SVJ and I also got a 458, she's gonna go home with me.
Oh, wow.
So that's really relatable to business. If you want to recruit people, get credibility, build relationships, they see you driving a nice car and you're gonna get that. So that's marketing for me. But those were like kind of like the awkward moments we had with me and Mark, because we were going kind of headbutting each other. But other than that, it was good. But there's a lot of stuff about taxes, and they're boring. But I like taxes because it's awesome to make like millions and not pay anything. And I asked Mark, can you make billions and pay zero taxes? And he said, yeah. Donald Trump paid $800.
700.
Okay, 700.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this answered everything.
Instagram.
Instagram. So if you guys want to get the link, text this number and I'll send you the private link for the Zoom. See you guys. Make sure you save it with the number. Cool.
There's another question.
So are we good?
Yeah, great.
Awesome, brother. And if we missed something, just comment or just send me a DM. I do this with nothing but good intentions. Anything you ask me, like, I'm gonna be completely transparent. If I don't know, I'm gonna tell you I don't know, because I just talk about things that I've done, things that I have experience on. Like Alpha has a lot more knowledge than me on different things. I ask him, I'm asking him for input all the time. Like, hey, what do you think, Alpha? Like how do I run these lives, these fake lives, and what do I do here? And he gives me a lot of input. So I'm happy that I have all these friends that are really knowledgeable. Jomar always gives me good input. So, and it's the people you surround yourselves with. If you're surrounded by losers, you're gonna be a loser. If you're surrounded by liars, you're gonna start lying here and there. If you're surrounded with people that like to do some drugs, you're gonna start doing drugs. So just watch who you hang out with and who you listen to. Next question is who?
Ariel Obando.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ariel Obando? Damn, so you talk loud.
Me?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
I'm actually in the kitchen right now cooking. Listening.
Dude, cook me something, man, 'cause I'm hungry and my wife doesn't cook for me.
He is such a liar.
Well, I'm meal prepped for the next few days, so you know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
My question is, 'cause I went to the event where in LA in Malibu, and I saw a lot of people that had horses that were.
Hey, by the way, bro, before you say that, like, can you tell me about and be honest. If it sucked, just tell me in my face that it sucked. I'm not gonna kick you out or anything. What do you think about the event?
100%. The only thing I wish was better was the tacos in the night. That line was too long. I mean, I did meet a few people, which would made the experience much better. But if you could have maybe a few more food trucks or a few other vendors, that would have definitely made the experience much better. Other than that, top notch. The view, the people I met, the actions that I'm taking from it, out of this world.
Amazing.
Awesome, bro. Thank you. And so just for your take notes.
You know, and it's funny because we weren't even gonna have tacos, and then me and Steph were like talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, people are probably gonna get hungry because remember, we literally made the impossible happen. When I say this, I mean it. There was no venue, nobody. I called 50 places with Steph, like Jesus was even helping us. We could not find a venue because everybody's still freaking out about COVID. And In-N-Out even canceled on us because the venue, the windy road, trucks don't fit there. They don't fit there. So believe me, we were very lucky to even have that. And the line was extremely long, but at the end of the day, it's like you kind of have to make things work and work with what you have. You know, but I did see that line. I was like, damn. I just went and cut. I'm like, sorry
I
guys.
just held it in, and then on the drive back to the Airbnb that I was at, I just got some burgers on the way back.
Nice.
Yeah, but you know what?
In-N-Out was supposed to be there, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah, but you know what? You learn from every experience.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate that we were able to have the in-person event because it was like mission impossible, but we committed to it, and just like the boot camp, we're gonna make it happen. And the boot camp, we plan on having a certain amount of people. We already targeted a certain amount because the boot camp's smaller.
Yeah.
So for the business boot camp, we targeted a number. We already surpassed it. So now we're gonna have to make a little bit more space. But it's so many great people, and I just had I'll just mention this. I'll just say this and leave it like that. I had a conversation with Bobby Castro this morning. But tell me your question.
So my question is, because I saw a lot of individuals that were doing coaching in their expertise. Like I told you guys on the Zoom call a few weeks ago, I made 6 figures this year because I'm in IT. I'm a system engineer. So I've been getting a lot of DMs in my Instagram for people asking me how did I get to this point. So going to Driven, it helped me realize I should start personal coaching, helping people get to that point. So far I have four students or 4 soon to graduate people that are interested in getting into IT. And my question now is, should I do an S Corp? Should I do an LLC? Because I know I can scale this, because I can definitely help a lot of people get into like a 6-figure salary, because I did it like in the last 2 years. So should I do an LLC? Should I do an S Corp? Or should I even consider that and just start scaling the consulting part of helping people get to 6 figures?
Bill, get an S Corp, and what state are you in?
Can you repeat that?
What state are you in?
I'm in California.
Okay, easy. 2 words, S Corp, and move to another state.
Move to another state?
Yeah, an S Corp. Yeah, just exactly what Alpha's doing.
Well, I would let him get really busy and really good before he can move on.
Well, that's also good advice, but that's thinking little and being scared. See, like I just take action. Like I don't worry about what if it doesn't work. Like I don't think Alpha worries about let's see if it works. He just goes for it. I don't think Jomar is the guy that's should I open my real estate office when times are perfect, when I have a certain amount of money in the bank? No, he just opens it, and then he takes risks, and then that's why he wins. That's why people win. Not let me wait till I'm ready. No, I never waited till I was ready. I just went for it. So
Exactly.
if you know you're gonna make it, then you're gonna make it. If you think you're gonna get COVID, you're gonna get the COVID. But like if your mind tells you, oh, I'm gonna fall down because I'm running too fast, you're gonna fall down. So that's how I feel. That's how I operate, and it's been working so far for me. But if Mark told me we're moving out of California, by the way. Like it's done. Next year we're moving out.
To where?
We're gonna move out for 6 months and a day to live in another state. So it's gonna be it's gonna be Nevada, Florida, Dallas, or Arizona.
Can the husband move alone? And
So
the
we're
wife-
gonna see what we do, but we're definitely gonna move out, because apart from just California being horrible with all the taxes, and now with Biden, which looks like he's gonna be the president, we're fucked. So
Yeah.
so we gotta move somewhere else, and you're gonna save. I mean, just think about it. If you're making 21 million bucks, like what's an extra 15%? It's a lot of money. And in Florida, you don't pay any of that, 0. So once I explained to Syl, like, hey, you know that you could have an extra few millions of dollars. We could come to California
I love California.
and use California like a prostitute,
There's nothing like
and then
that.
fly back up. That'll pay for your jet.
We'll see.
So
So the state that I've been looking at is Rhode Island, and the reason why is because we have great relationships there. I kind of been looking at real estate there, where we've been looking at like multi-properties. I've been looking at distressed homes. So Rhode Island is a state that I've been looking at, but I know it's not as tax friendly as other places, but it's a great place that I know our kids can grow for the next 3-4 years. But we are looking at Florida as well.
Yeah, but you know what? If you think big and you believe in yourself that you're gonna make it big and make a lot of money, just make the right choice from the beginning and just go to Florida or go to Vegas. Go somewhere like that where you or whatever you like. Some people like it more like a more reserved place for your kids. Dallas is an amazing place. 0 taxes in Texas. And for example, Mo Alpha Slice, he's making $300,000 a month, maybe more now. He was getting taxed on that because he was living in California. He's teaching people online. It's online courses. So when you're doing online courses, he went to Florida. He just moved to Florida. So now on those $300,000 a month, he's saving 14-15% in taxes just by moving to Florida. That's a lot of money you're saving. And and especially if you're gonna do like online courses, it's the way to go. You don't want to change that. And then I'll talk to you about it, Alpha. Like ask a question about real estate, so I could pick you next. But yeah, I would do that. But if you want to move to another state that you like, good. If you love it, but I would pick a state and do it right from the beginning and just move to a state 0 taxes. You could always visit the other places that you like. Like that's what I would do.
Okay, sweet, awesome. That
Cool.
answers my question. I appreciate you guys.
Awesome, brother. Love you, man.
Appreciate it. Love you guys too, mi gente. Love you.
Si se puede, cabrón.
Si se puede.
Next question, Kendall Angeles.
Oh man, where's Kendall?
Kendall, you gotta step it up if you want to
You
come to
gotta
the
stop
pad.
partying, Kendall.
Yo!
What's up?
What's up, guys? Yo, what's up, Johnny?
Dude, wait till you find out the news. Like, don't say anything to Eli and Mike or nothing yet. But John's
Moving in.
joining the team over here in West Hollywood.
He's moving in with us. Can I have a sip?
A sick.
Hey, Eli knows already, and he's
Oh, yeah?
I saw him today, you know.
Since I saved a $250,000 here, I offered him a $100K bonus.
Wow. Yeah. Don't tell Eli that.
Yeah, just keep it low.
Okay. Let's see. My question was, So first of all, Mark Kohler, super huge fan. You know, I'm an accountant by degree, so I'm a huge fan. So you seeing him, that's really dope. I saw him talking about this book. I got this back in 2018, and I was really interested in the S Corp section of it, specifically now because I'm obviously 1099. So being S Corp, being in California, is it possible? I don't know. I haven't looked into this, but is it possible to incorporate in another state, even though you're making money in California, for tax purposes?
Nothing. No. You can't.
That'd be too good to be true.
So for example, I think this will answer your question, but we're going nationwide. We're becoming a bank. So once we do that, we're gonna save a lot of money in taxes because we're gonna move as many employees to either Florida or Vegas, and then we're gonna pay 0 in state taxes. So we're gonna move as many employees to that state. However, all the money that we make in California has to be taxed in California because California is really aggressive because they're really broke. So they're really aggressive in collecting the money. They'll chase you wherever you go. But all the money that we start making in Nevada, Florida, those states, we're gonna pay 0 taxes there. So we're gonna save in a lot of states, but unfortunately, California loans, New York loans, we're gonna have to pay taxes over there. So you can't get away from that. But if you have an online training courses that you sell, you could sell them from anywhere in the world. So you could go in Puerto Rico, sell them from there. You could go in Florida, sell them. That's why Mohammed Alpha Slice moved over there. So he's saving a lot of money. So I think that's why he wants to get another car.
I'm gonna get my.
All right, thank you.
Steph, will you give me my jacket? Así como la tuya.
Alpha, ask me that question about real estate because I have the answer now. I spoke to Mark about it.
The white one.
About saving taxes by buying real estate.
Yeah, so what I asked you at Disney is if I buy, let's say I have a bunch of money saved and I buy real estate under my name, for example, like multifamily, let's say 10, 15 units. Will that give me a tax advantage, or I'm still paying tax on my money that I invested in real estate, and then over the next few years, I'll be saving in depreciation or depreciation.
So whatever, all the millions that you're gonna make with your virtual training, you're not gonna save there. All the money you make there, you have to pay taxes on that. However, when you buy 40 units, 80 units, and then you start making, let's say you start making every month, you make a year, $1 million with all the multi-units that you make. You make $1 million in rents. That's tax-free money. Because $1 million a year that you made in collecting all those rents, after expenses and everything else, that's tax-free money, because those $1 million, you're gonna write them off. You're gonna write off the depreciation and all the expenses that you get from the apartments. So that writes off everything that all your rental income that you make on the apartments. So what you want to do is you want to start investing all your income into assets like real estate. And he talks about Roths and 401ks. I don't understand them. Like, I don't have experience, knowledge about, and I don't like him. So that's why I don't want to do those things. But he loves them. So that was another disagreement we had. But I'll invest in real estate because it makes perfect sense. I have a mortgage company. I have a real estate company. I own real estate. I know how the game works. So I'm gonna stick to what I know. So once you start making millions, you start buying real estate. Then you get to a point like Bobby Castro, where he has 400 million in real estate, all his money. He didn't collect money or begged anybody for money. It's his own money and all that, and he's not paying taxes on the monthly income he's earning. Nothing. No worries, he doesn't have to spread the money. It's all his money and tax-free. So with that money, passive income, now you could go and start buying like all the flashy stuff that you like if you want it, because it's tax-free money. But the money you're making with your business, you got to be careful with that money, because that money is going to get taxed. However, what Mark told me is that when you have such a great apartment deal where you're not paying taxes, but there's more, you're writing off more, that it's rolling over to your personal income, which is your virtual training. Now that's going to offset your virtual training. And then you're going to pay less taxes there. So yes, it will help you if there's enough write-offs. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I mean, because like I filed jointly, like me, my wife, and the business, like under one, umbrella. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna invest in real estate and see how it's gonna work. And then maybe later on, if someone asks me this question, I'm going to answer them from experience and tell them, hey, this is how it added up. But
yeah.
I think it will save me some taxes under, like, in general, like the company and the personal.
Yeah, and you're already going to save a lot of taxes being in Florida. And so what I recommend is just stack and rack money, and then 2021, you're gonna have a huge opportunities and go buy a nice apartment. Like you don't have to start. You don't really have. See, like somebody like him, he doesn't have to start FHA. I started FHA because I was broke. I didn't have money, and Alpha Slice has I don't know how many millions he has, but Alpha Slice has a lot of money. So it doesn't make sense for him. I mean, he could do it. It could make sense, but for somebody like him, he should just, put $500,000 down, get a deal, put another $500,000 down, get another deal.
Yeah.
And then that's gonna also save you a lot of money, a lot of taxes for 2021. Plus 2021, I think prices are gonna go down, but I could be wrong, but that's what I think. But you're in a great spot. Your biggest stress is what car should I drive, or what watch should I wear, or what ATM should I go to?
Hey, good question.
Yeah.
I just like you, man. I learned from you, and I just copy everything you do. So I don't worry about baby money, but just quick question regarding the trip that you did to Disney. So you said that is like tax write-off, this and that, but is it just for the adults or for the kids as well?
I mean, the kids, what are you gonna write off? Chicken nuggets and French fries? So
Airfare,
yeah,
you know.
like that's a write-off, because remember, we went there to talk business. We got in the little huddle, me, you, Gilbert, Jomar, and our other couple of friends, Steph and Syl, and we were talking business. So we were there doing business. So that makes everything a write-off, yeah. But also, just so you guys, I said in the beginning, I'm not a tax expert, so I would clear it with my tax expert, my CPA, or whoever's doing your taxes. But on me, it gets tricky with the meals, because sometimes the meals you only write off 50%.
Yeah.
So you gotta, like, I'm not an expert, like I said, but if I text Mark right now, he'll answer me. But you have to pick your trick. But for example, if you want to impress like a customer or a partner, and we will go to Disneyland with our kids, and we're doing business, and then you get a couple of bottles of Opus, and these bottles are $1,000 each. That's a write-off. And then you're gonna impress, and you're gonna get a write-off, and you get your steak and all that fancy food. It's a write-off completely,
That
100% off. So I'm gonna introduce you to Mark. Sounds good? And then I'll see you soon, bro.
Can't wait till January.
Awesome.
Can't wait.
You still won the $100? I can't hear you. All right. Next question.
He's so bad.
Claudia.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I love to see your beautiful face.
How's Biggie? Does he have COVID?
COVID survivor.
All right, so my question is really similar to Alpha's life, so just to piggyback off his. So a lot of us here are on the verge of buying our first investment property to add another source of income. So there's more tax breaks on this source of income. What are the top 3 tax advantages when buying your first property, and which entity would give you a better tax break, S corporation or limited liability corporation?
I'll answer the question. So you don't need an LLC right now. So what you should do is get a 4-unit property, and then have Biggie get a 4-unit property. But I'll give you some advantages of getting the 4-unit property. First of all, a 4-unit is going to give you better write-offs than a 1-unit. You're going to write off depreciate. You're going to appreciate it. You're also the tenants are going to pay down your mortgage. You're going to have interest that you're paying. You're going to write that off. You're going to have taxes, and you're going to write that off. And then also you're going to make rental income every month. So the rental income that you make every month, you could use it to lower the principal, or you could use it to go on dates. And not only that, your property is going to appreciate over time. And then I'll add another one. Once the property goes up in value, never sell it. See, the biggest mistake I did, and this is going to sound repetitive because one of my prior mentors told me this, the biggest mistake I made was getting rid of my real estate. I should have kept it all. You should never get rid of real estate because it always keeps going up. 10 years pass, it always keeps going up. But my biggest mistake was getting rid of real estate. But I got rid of my real estate because I needed to survive.
Yeah.
If I didn't need to survive, I would have kept it.
He sold my beautiful.
Yeah, I sold all her
48th
shit. But I needed to survive. But now we're here. So it kind of worked out. I mean, but if
Well,
you should.
this coming year, we're gonna start picking up properties. We're gonna go look at where? Arizona. Where else?
Arizona, Florida's good, depending on where we move, because we want to be close to our properties. But you should get a 4-unit property, and then once it gets value, 5 years, 6 years, instead of selling it, refinance and borrow the money, because when you refinance and you borrow money at a 3% that we have now, or even 2%, you don't pay taxes on borrowed money, on loans. You don't pay money on loans. So you could borrow money at 2.5%. I was telling Roger this. You borrow money at 2.5%, you pull out $200,000, now you have $200,000 that you borrowed, your interest rate is 2.5%. I mean, Kendall's right there. Kendall, what are the rates for a 4-unit property right now? I mean,
2.675 approval.
all right, I was off by 0.125. So 2.6.
2.75 is common. You're good.
There you go, 2.625, okay? Sorry, Kendall. But 2.625. So that's your rate on the 4-unit property. You cash out 200,000 because 6 years down the road, your property's worth 300 more. You get 200,000 now. You borrow it. You're paying 2.625% on the 200,000. You get those 200,000 and you go buy another 4-unit. You put that as a down payment. You get another 4-unit and you plant your money there, and now you're earning 40% return or 60% return or maybe even more. You don't know, but even if you earn 20% ROI, 20% minus 2.625, that gives you what, 17.5 or more or less? So now you're making a 17% return, and you're only paying 3, because you're paying 3% minus the 3% you're paying, and the 2.625% you're paying in interest. You take away that, you're still left, now you're making 18% more or less return by using your borrowed money to invest in. And then not only that, it gets even more beautiful. Now your other 4-unit, that's also giving you passive income. That's the tenants are paying down your mortgage. You have more write-offs now, and that other property is also going up in value. So that's what we did. That's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all these units, and we became multimillionaires by making decent income, but making a lot of money by appreciation. So that was like our piggy bank. Does that make sense or not?
Yes.
LLCs, you don't need them. LLCs are to protect your properties once you get in the big leagues and you have 18, 20 units or more, and then you want to protect them just in case somebody naughty wants to sue you guys because they're haters. Then you're like, oh, sorry, I don't own it. I don't own anything. It's under that LLC that nobody knows about. I just control it. I'm broke on paper, but I control my assets. And then you give him the big middle finger like that. If you're watching this, bitch. Not you, the guy that's watching. Yeah, but does that make sense?
All right, thank you.
See you tomorrow. Mwah.
Tomorrow.
She's so cute.
Next question.
Next question.
Okay.
Yas Flake.
Yes. Yes. Yas Flake?
Flake?
Yas Flake? You there?
Yas.
Dude, I've never gotten somebody. I'm waiting for a person that just texts and gets on here and starts cussing me out.
He has to he's unmuted. He has to talk.
Yas, question? Oh, it's too low though. I think you gotta speak a little bit louder.
Can you hear me now?
Very low. I don't think it's the volume though, but check it.
Yeah, I'll just double check it.
It's him.
I got
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm at the client actually yet. I have not gone home yet, but I would love to share some of my information as a CPA. And I just sent few messages regarding the subject because I knew my audio was not working. But I would love if you could maybe share it with you. And I would love to be maybe more available to you guys to discuss more details. But the audio is not working. I can't actually hear you.
Where did you send the messages to? Instagram?
Just now, actually, just at the fifth.
No, he's here. He's on here.
Okay.
He's sending
You messaged
questions. He has a question, but he has to uncover
money,
his
taxes,
Yeah.
and what
Tell
the
him so.
strategies maybe. But I don't know. I think he received them.
We
Can you
can-
hear me now?
Yas, we can barely hear you. Are you covering the speakerphone?
No, nothing.
Oh, there we go. There you go.
There we go.
Now it's good?
Yeah.
Perfect, dude. You sound like a new man.
All right, how you doing, guys?
Good.
Dude, amazing. Now that I could hear you, you sound like you just had a nice relief.
No, actually, I've been walking around, to find a good spot. I'm at a client, actually.
Oh, cool,
I'm
cool.
doing his boats.
Now we're good now.
Yeah, my name is Sam. I joined you guys in the last June, and I have a few questions about the MLO.
Okay.
And at the same time, I have been practicing CPA in California for a few years already, and I'm planning to integrate the mortgage industry to my clients with my firm. And but since this subject you guys discussing the tax issues, in this meeting, I would like to mention a few things which you already, Albert, mentioned actually based on your experience. And basically, for the expense to be allowed to be written off in your books, is that it has to be business related.
Yeah.
As long as it has a business purpose, that's number one. Number two, it has very well documented. Then you can write it off.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you mentioned luxury cars or expensive watches. Those actually you could write them off as long as they serve the purpose of your business, such as marketing.
Yeah.
And in your business, and you mentioned also alpha. I know these items, definitely you could write them off because I know, they serve the purpose of your business for marketing. But the IRS, they always been very strict when it comes to meals and entertainment.
Yeah.
Some expenses you are allowed to expense up to 50%. Some expenses you're allowed to expense up to 75%.
Yeah.
It all depends on the purpose of the expense and how well it's documented. That's number two. Number three is about which form of corporation to. No, actually, one participant mentioned if he lives in California, can he start his company in a different state or not? Well, the answer is yes. Each state in the United States has its own corporate office, let's say. So basically what people do, some of them, let's say they live in California, they could incorporate their companies in different states, thinking that they could save taxes on their business. But the fact of the matter is that even if you incorporate your business in a different state, your local state requires you to domesticate your corporation into your own state. So, like Albert lives in California, he has corporation in California. If he would open another corporation, let's say in Florida, because the Florida has no taxes, and then California state require you to register your Florida corporation in California. They call it domestication. So basically, the shortcut is no. If you live in California, start your business in California, and if this is what you choose to. But it doesn't make any business sense to open a corporation in a different state and then to try to avoid it, because simply registration fees is very high. So whatever money you're gonna save by incorporating your business in a different state, you're gonna pay it to California in registration fees, on yearly fees actually. That's another point. So well, I think one participant also mentioned which option is better. Is it LLC or the S corporation?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the person and how much income he's making. So rule of thumb, if you have net income $30,000 a year or more, it makes business expense to save more money. So it makes sense to start S corporation. What that means actually, S corporation allows you to have the benefits of a corporation, but yet to save taxes just like as individual. So basically, your income will be incorporated in your 1040. On the other hand, if you choose to do if you choose to do C corporation, which is like the general definition of corporation, so that is very bad idea for most people with this small businesses, because the small business will be subject to double taxation, meaning if the business makes income, it has to be taxed on its own. Then the income that you generate is gonna go to your personal account, of course, as owner, or let's say as a shareholder. So you receive money from your corporation. You already paid taxes in your income from that corporation, and then you have to pay another taxes when you file your own personal tax. So that's called, they call it double taxation. So nobody want to do C corporation unless it's a huge company.
Yeah.
When it comes to big businesses or big corporations, normally, let's say the Fortune 500 or the bigger ones, they choose Delaware to incorporate their corporations there. Why? It's not about it's not about tax breaks or benefits. It's about how easy it is to arbitrate or to solve problems in Delaware. So if there is a big problem, let's say with Microsoft, in Delaware, it takes very, very short time to resolve. On the other hand, if it happens in California or New York or any other state, it will take years. You know?
Yeah, yes.
So there's another.
So thank you for all the information. Like it's like you gave us so much value and but do you have any question or is it or you're just gonna bless us with your info?
Actually, I have a question. If you remember 2 weeks ago, I joined Zoom also. I told you that I passed the MLO.
Yeah.
And I'm being licensed in Carson.
Oh, yeah.
What city are you in?
Carson.
Carson, dude, you need to be with the mortgage guy, especially with all that tax info that you have. You can make all of us like richer, and you could be like in-house.
Yeah, definitely. This is what I'm trying to do. Actually, you know, I submitted my my licensing application last week. You know, but I watched actually on Instagram this morning the post the video how to be a millionaire in 4.5 years.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you started it with $3,000 with the FHA loan.
Yeah.
And I have two questions here. The $3,000 you started with, did you put it down to buy the property, the 3 units, or did you use it for marketing or maybe software or equipment? That's number one. Number two, if you used it for down payment, I know the FHA required 3.5% down payment. So I'm just wondering how much was the value of the property, because if it's about 3.5%, then the value would be about 80,000. And I know you can get three units for 80,000. You know, that's the first question. If you'd like to answer it.
Let me go with that one first, because that's going to be a long answer. I'm going to try to do it fast. You know the answer still, but let me go as fast as I can. So this property, I have $3,000 in my bank account. I have a 560 FICO score, and I have $80,000 of collections. Okay, but I'm starting to forget all these numbers because it was like so long ago. But I had more or less those are the numbers. So I had $3,000 in my bank account. I bought a property, a 3-unit property for $266,000. This property was in South Central on Lima Street. Look it up, public records. I bought it for $266K, and I put 3.5% down FHA. So the down payment is going to be, you know, like about $9,000 more or less. But I ended up putting $12,000 down because that included closing costs. So I had $3,000. So when I say I started with $3,000, is I started with $3,000. I put all the $3,000 on the line, and my bank account is at 0. And I said, I'm gonna open escrow, and I'm gonna get extension after extension until I need an extension. And I'm gonna make the money, the rest of the money, to get to the 12,000 while I'm in escrow. Mm-hmm. So I put the 3,000 as my deposit. That was my EMD deposit that I sent to escrow. And I said, you know what? Like Biggie told Claudia, hey, Claudia, I'm gonna hustle mode. I put $3,000 that we have. I'm gonna go come up with the other 9. I'm gonna go hustle. So that's what I told Syl. I'm gonna go hustle. I'll strip. I'll do whatever I have to do, and I'm gonna come up with those $9,000. So it took me 3 extensions, and I also had this creativity that I said, well, while I'm in escrow, I'm gonna fix my credit and get rid of the $80,000 collections.
Yeah.
So it took us like 90-something days. I came up with the extra 9,000 apart from the 3,000, and I also fixed my credit, and I was able to get it up to like 610. I closed escrow, and I got this property for 266, and this property was worth 600,000 more or less when I sold it. I made, and then all the interest that was paid down by the tenants, all the rental income that I made, because I moved into the house. FHA got to owner occupy it. So once I, moved in, I moved out right away as soon as I could. Then I rented it. Then I started making rental income. And then that single home property made me $460 something thousand in 4.5 years. All of this is documented, I have it, and I mean, you know it, you know the story. Add something to it.
Commit
we took pictures of
first
it.
and figure it out later. Yeah, we have to find those pictures. I have a picture probably of every.
I even
day
took a
of my
picture there
life.
with my six-pack, remember?
Yeah, I have to find it.
Yeah, but that's how I did it. So I said I got a property with 3K because that's what I got it for. That's what I started with. I just figured it out. I figured it out. Like Syl, I took her to my home to see my dog Casper. I figured it out how to do the rest later.
Little did he
So,
know.
Albert, just one thing
That's
here.
so nice.
When you guys got qualified to buy that building or property,
Yeah.
was it easy for you to get qualified? I know you mentioned you had bad credit and you didn't have enough money, but did they consider the income that you would generate from the 3 units in order for you to get qualified?
I made no my FHA. You could go as low as they don't have like a FICO score that they stick to. So back then, you could get a loan if as long as you get a DU approval. It doesn't matter what your FICO score is. So back then, I didn't get a DU approval with 560 score and $80,000 in collection. But what I did is I cleaned up most of the collections, and then I got a DU approval once my credit went up to 610. And then when it went up to 610, I got the DU approval, but some of the collections that didn't go away, the charge-offs, they counted 3% of the charge-off amount into my DTI, my debt-to-income ratio. So all of that, they considered all that, and then they put all the pros, all the cons, and then finally they funded my deal, and I got the property. But it was like it was like hard. So I was close to maybe not getting the property, but that property saved my life. So Lima Street, I will forever love you.
That's great. So, but qualifying income. So I know back then you didn't have a job, you didn't have income.
No, I did have a job back then. I was self-employed. I was a loan officer. So what I did is I reported an average of $60,000 a year. So they averaged my prior year and my second year, and my average was $60,000 a year in income. But what all of you have to know though is when you buy multi-units, and I'll let Syl speak. When you buy multi-units, if you make 60K, look at me in the eyes. Look at me. So when you make 60K and you get 4 units, what happens to the other 3 units? Does that count as extra income? Talk about it.
Yes, it does. It depends on guidelines, but before I think you used to get 75% of the rents collected. So what that means is if the other 3 units, the one that you're not gonna occupy, if there's 4 units, you'll get the income multiplied by 12 months on top of your income, and you get 75% of it. And that helps you qualify for more. That's why a lot of our clients, back in the day when we used to produce, I would always tell people, I'm like, hey, when they wanted a house, I'm like, hey, why don't you buy 2 or 3 or 4 units? Because 4 units is still considered a residential loan, which means you'll get a better rate, you'll have a lot of different benefits that you don't with commercial. And yeah, that's what I did to all my clients. I'm like, you can literally live for free, sacrifice for, I don't know, 2 years, and in 2 years from now, you'll be able to save up enough money to put 5% down on your owner-occupied home that you always wanted. But if you do it backwards, I feel like people never get to a place where they can actually, have their home, save 25% down. And I'm just talking basic, normal people. It's very hard to save up 25%
What's a basic
down.
person?
Like just like a person that, just goes to work, comes home, like just like a regular person.
Basic.
A basic person. Anyway, he's trying to put me on the spot. So you have to know how to play with, the options that you have. And, if you have units, look at Josh, one of our agents. He worked for the company and then he went self-employed, meaning he got his license and was gonna go practice real estate. So you need to have 2 years of employment, whether it's 1099 or W-2. but it has to be a 2-year history.
Yeah,
and you
and-
could go from self-employed to W-2.
And just to be clear on that, Kendall, unmute. When you're gonna qualify as a self-employed, a loan originator to buy a 4-unit property, how many years of taxes do you need?
2.
Don't try to tell him the stuff, okay?
He
John
knows.
is right there.
If he doesn't know, then I'd be concerned.
Okay, but what if I hire somebody? What if I hire somebody like recently and they don't have 2 years, but I'm paying them on payroll, I'm paying them W-2, and I'm giving them a nice fat salary? Can they qualify even though they don't have 2 years? Oh shit! Did I do? Did
You
is that a good
switch
idea?
from W-2 to payroll, well, when you switch from self-employed to W-2, you'll be okay. We can make exceptions for that, but it can't be vice versa. So you can't go self-employed. W-2 to self-employed.
John is.
You need the 2-year history.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding, bro. But John,
What's John saying?
Okay, you guys. Oh my God.
John is cracking jokes.
You are cracking jokes.
No, I'm not. Can you let John sit for a little bit?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Come on.
John, come sit down.
I'm not. You guys.
One more question. One more
Yeah, we're gonna ask one more question, but just slip in for 5 minutes, and then you can slip back in.
Slipping.
Yeah. Can you sit down?
Yeah, now?
Albert, just one more thing before I leave you.
Go for it, Yas, go for it. I'll bring you up after.
Actually, we just one of the guys asked how rich people or these billionaires they make money and they don't pay taxes. It's simply because they don't use their own money. They use debt. They
Yeah,
take bank's money. They work on it.
Debt.
That will help them because the IRS does not tax you on borrowed money. In
Exactly.
addition to that, you could use the cost of financing to write that off as well. So basically, it helps in two purposes. You don't pay taxes on borrowed money, and you could write off the cost of financing also in your taxes.
Yep.
This is how Trump have not paid for years. And Robert Kiyosaki also mentioned that he partnered with Donald Trump a few years ago, and this is what the strategy he followed. Both of them uses the bank's money to buy real estate, and keep getting they write off the cost of financing also in their taxes, and they just keep doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah, no, completely agree with that, Yas. Think you give a lot of good value. So, like I talk about that all the time. Borrow money because you don't pay tax on borrowed money on loans. So, 100%. Thank you, Yas. We're gonna do one more question, and we're gonna
Bring John on?
And then I bring John on for 5 minutes. I want you guys to meet John. He's a total stud. Who's the next?
Last question is Jomar.
Thank you, guys.
Jomar.
Thank you, Yas. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Jomar.
Brother, how are you?
Do you miss us yet?
Shit, we had a blast, man, on Disney with Alpha and all the guys in Syl.
By the way, brother, send me your cell so I can send you the $100.
Me? No, don't worry, brother. Don't worry.
He's like, I got money.
Hey, man. So real quick, I know when you were talking about when you met Mark.
Yeah.
He called you on something that you messed up. So what are the things that you messed up that Mark correct you on? I mean, I don't know if you probably have talked a little bit about it, but I just want to what are those things that he told you messed up on?
Clothes. So he said that like all the nice clothes, I can't write it off, and I tell him, well, what do you mean? I use it to market. If I don't wear nice clothes, people are not gonna like me. And then he said, well, yeah, but it needs to be a uniform. And I said, well, it is my uniform. So so I told him, like, Mark, just make it work. So he's gonna make it work. So maybe I'll.
You could just stamp the mortgage guys inside of your. That jacket is everything.
Well, he said that I
So
told him,
nice.
like, Mark, what can I just put driven on? I have driven here, so it's a write-off. And he's like, yeah, but it doesn't have to be and
it's like $3,000.
a Ferragamo jacket. And because you don't need that Ferragamo jacket to do your business. It's like so there's a fine line.
As far as cost goes?
So now I know that like all the clothes,
Yeah, I think that's why Grant has like the 10x on his suits and shit.
Yeah, but don't buy like $1,000 stuff unless you love it. You know, like if you could buy $500 shoes like these, I think 600, instead of paying $2,000 for crocodile shoes, because they're not gonna you're not gonna, because you're gonna have to tell the IRS. I spent $100,000 on crocodile shoes, so then you're gonna get audited. So you gotta pick your audit. Like you don't want to get audited for. I'm not gonna tell the IRS like, hey, I have a $300,000 watch write off, because then they might be like, let's pick at the watch. But I'll tell the IRS I bought a $3 million jet, so it's a write off, and it is. So you just gotta be smart with where you wanna poke at the IRS, and also like when you give away gifts. That was another, like, you can't just give away, watches that are expensive, because that's your loss.
You already have like what? You're on your 6th watch.
Something like that. So, but I don't really care about that, Jomar, because it's
baby money.
It's baby money, yeah. Like they earned it. And at the same time, I don't want to be the owner or the CEO that tells my people, hey, by the way, here's your 1099 for your watch. Like I don't want to be that person.
That
right?
would suck.
Yeah. So it's like almost like, here, you know what? We had a great sex session, but I'm gonna 1099 you on that. Like I want him to enjoy it and not owe me anything, or the IRS.
100%.
But there's a lot of little things like that I got, but there was also things that I kind of disagreed with him, and I was kind of testing him, and then he said, well, you know what? Let me. And I told Mark, just make it happen, like fix it. Yeah. And so he's gonna go back and fix it. That's why I'm paying him.
Right.
But just those are things that way you know. Like in the future, do I wanna give a watch and 1099, or do I just want to give it away and I'll take the tax cut? So what I would do is I would give the watches, and I'm not gonna 1099, but maybe I'll buy a Cullinan if it makes sense, and that's $500,000 SUV Rolls Royce, and then I save $500,000 in taxes. Or maybe I'll buy a jet, or who knows? It depends where you are, but there's so many things. He's gonna speak for 2 hours at the boot camp.
So amazing.
So I told him already like all the things I want him to cover, so it's gonna be great info for everybody. It's gonna be amazing.
And guys,
that Billie Jean is going to.
I didn't want to mention his name yet, but I did have a conversation with him this morning. Yeah.
Okay.
And I also had a conversation with Bobby, so we're working that out.
All right, brother. Thank you for everything, and I see you in January for sure.
Yep.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
So we're gonna bring John in, but I just want to say something. Everybody wants to be successful, but very few actually want to put in the work, right? And what does that mean? That means self-improvement. That means, having the right friends, the right relationships, doing things like this that might not be super fun, because it's always more fun to go have dinner and do things that are not actually gonna benefit your future. But all of you guys should be really proud that you're here, because it's just amazing. Like, you have to just keep getting better and better and better and better. And like Albert and I, we talked a lot during this vacay and on our way back, and him and I, for the most part, are almost always on the same page. Of course, sometimes like we're thinking the same exact things, and then I tell him, he's like, I was just thinking that. Like we're like that we're on the same wavelength. But right before we took off on vacay, like we were both kind of like tense. Like I was already annoyed. Like it's like we have 100 things going on at once all the time. Even my daughter, she's like, another party, mommy? Because we have different companies and we have to have events, and the holidays are coming. So it's just like so many different things. But again, it's just taking the time to be around the right people. Self-improvement is key. I see so many younger, especially the younger people, I'm like, you guys have a lot of bad information. You need to get the right information, because hard work is the way you get to places. You have to work hard. You also have to be smart, but hard work is irreplaceable. You cannot replace it. And people are just super lazy. Like they walk slow, they move slow, they think slow. I'm like, you're never gonna get anywhere. You have to be, what is it? Chispas? Is that what it is? You know what I'm saying? Like my grandma used to tell me that. Like you gotta be ready at all times, because if you are always ready, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, ever. You're always right there. An opportunity, it literally goes to people that are already on the dance floor. Like you have to be ready for those opportunities. And like him, he's like, we're taking off. You know, we had an issue with both of our camera people, which is funny. And it's like people just are so easily defeated. I don't know if that makes sense. And that's why it's important to understand the information that you're receiving, where it's coming from, what is the motive, right? Because if little things can stop you, you will never be successful. And I tell you guys this because he's like, I'm not canceling my trip to see Mark Kohler, what's his name?
Mark Kohler.
Mark Kohler. He's like, I'm not. He's like, Syl, like he was so excited. He's listening to his podcast so that he can be ready for the actual interview. And he's like, I'm not canceling anything. Like today, I'm like, are you sure, you know, you want to make Roger come all the way over here and do Driven Couples, or should we wait? He's like, no, we already missed last week. We're not missing this. And I'm like,
yeah, because it's momentum. Jomar and everybody, like you don't, I'm not going to lose momentum for anybody.
Or anything.
Like I'm not going to lose momentum. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but go to my Driven channel in Espanol.
Oh, yeah.
Go to my Driven channel Espanol, Jomar. I already have 1,000 something subscribers. And I have, in my first podcast with Salamondrin, I think it has like 50K views already. Tomorrow I'm dropping another Spanish one, and it's already growing in Spanish.
And subscribe, guys. You know, this is free information. If you're not part of our Driven Academy, which we drop a lot of, all the events are on there. Again, it's information. You know, people spend money on so many stupid things. We all do. I mean, it happens to me now. But if you can just go and take the time, instead of watching Netflix, things that, you know, reality shows, it doesn't do anything for you, right? Not your mind, not anything. So why not take the time and just say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna go watch this, and learn something, because from anything and everything you can learn something. And it doesn't matter if it's the smallest thing, it's gonna help you in your future, in your life, in your relationships, and the way that you think. You know, John is, you know, we're gonna bring him in right now. He's so amazing. Like, he's just good people, good vibes. Like, he lost a ton of weight. He looks amazing.
Good looking dude.
Good looking dude. No, está bien guapo. He is. You know, I'm sure Julie can attest to that.
He drives an Audi.
And guess what? Now he's around people that are doing good. People that are closing 20 transactions a month. People that are killers. And what happens when you throw yourself in an environment like that? You're like, damn, if they can do it, I can do it. You know, and he is literally amazing. So I'm going to bring you in so I can go put our... You're going to have dinner with us?
Yeah.
I'm going to go do salmon. Okay. So anyway, I los dejo.
Did you say salmon or salmon?
Salmon. I know how to say it right. I mean, it's like a habit. Porque salmon.
All right.
So here he is. I'll let you in. I'll get out. Mwah, you're so cute. I love you. Good. Bye.
All right, guys. So really proud of this guy, man. Give me your hand. This guy is one of the highest earners at the company. He is. I mean, you are. We talked about that. You make pretty good income.
Yes, I do. Thanks
And
to you, Albert.
and I remember we had a conversation maybe 2 years ago, and you were telling me like, man, my income isn't that right. Man, you know what? I'm arguing with my wife. Now that you're making you know, pretty decent income, and this is just the beginning.
Yep.
And you are by far the reason why the number 1 team in our company, Eli,
Yep.
and his team, why you guys are number 1 almost every month.
Correct.
Talk about the, like, Kendall, if you could back up my boy Kendall, because he was talking about some mortgage 4 units and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So self-employed, and if you go W-2 and all that stuff, but just talk about who John is first.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go based off what you're talking about. 2 years ago, guys, when I came here, I was telling Albert, like, man, I feel like I'm barely making it, arguing with the wife, right? Because, you know, now this is all driven couples, right? So we always think about the couples. You know, I was arguing, figuring out how I'm gonna make it, and I just followed everything Albert said. Like, hey, just keep working, keep grinding, and it's gonna work out, right? Because Albert always has a plan, and the past, year or two, it's been amazing. I've been doubling every year, and now the argument is not money. Now the argument how we're gonna spend more time together, like as a couple, right? So that's what's working out. Like, thank you, Albert and Syl, for allowing me to do what I do, and I love you guys, man. You guys are the best.
Tell people what you were doing today here. You came here for what?
To here or
Yeah.
at the office?
Well, you left your team to come over here, to come to the corporate office.
Yes, I came to the corporate office because Albert allows me. I guess I have a vision, guys, that I really want to make sure this company keeps on growing. And I don't even worry about the money or even what to worry about, guys, because my vision is I want to help Albert and Syl, the company, grow. And what I did in my time, of course, I never asked for anything. All I want to make sure is that I help Albert how he helped me to keep doubling, and I want to make sure the company doubles. And what I did is I came to the office and help out another team how to figure out how to build their team better as an assistant or loan officer assistant, how to make sure their team keeps growing and keep the company building. And that's why I came here for, to make sure that the company keeps on growing, because, you know, us as a team, with the Vizcarra team, you know, we've been growing so much, and a lot of people have been asking me, Eli, even Kendall, that, like, what is it that you guys are doing that I can implement to myself and our team? And, you know, I like to spend time to everybody to make sure we all grow as a company.
So last month, your team was number 1.
Correct.
You guys broke a record, right?
Yes, we did.
You want to talk about how it felt?
It felt amazing, guys.
What was like the top 2 things do you think that clicked that made you break that record?
You know what? A lot of things, man. One always in my mind is Albert saying, like, hey, when are you going to close this 30, 30, 30? That's always been my goal, but this time I was a lot closer, and it felt good, man, because, you know, my vision is to make sure I make the team grow. I make sure that, you know, I make everybody proud for the team. It's because, man, we put so much effort, guys, in making sure that everybody is accountable in what we do. And it just felt great, man, because, you know, what do you always say? Hey, what's that word you say all the time? That, like, you talk about it, but walk the walk? Kind of.
Walk.
Because you know how you say people talk, but actually do it instead of, like, just saying,
there's a lot of people that just walk and a lot of people that que ladran, they bark. Like, yeah. And they don't do shit.
They don't do shit. So
and there's people that say, like, I'm gonna fucking do this, and then you do it. You put your money where your mouth is.
And that's what I've been doing ever since Albert. Like, hey man, you've been telling me this, you gotta do it. So I've been putting a lot more work into it and helping the team. Even Kendall, you could tell, like, tell them a little bit how I've been in the past couple months, like, with you guys and everybody, as in, like, how I'm pushing you guys LOs to make sure we hit that number.
Is Kendall a good student?
Oh yeah, of course. Kendall's the best. And I love it because he's been learning so much that, like, he doesn't just stop. He just wants to keep on going and make sure that he makes himself and the team proud.
Well, I found out Kendall was a model. Yeah, and he's one of the rookie sensations. Like, he's one of the younger, newest guys.
Yeah.
But he already has his Rolex, and he used to be a model, so it doesn't hurt. And he's well, look at that.
Hey, there you go.
And you're you're closing deals every month. So you asked him a question.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kendall.
Oh yeah, I was saying Johnny's been laser focused. That's why we've been killing it these past 2 months, really, and this month as well. He's been pushing a lot of the new LOs. He's been pushing me for sure, and we're just keeping everybody accountable. But John has been focused day in, day out. Today he was partying with Albert, so, you know, we didn't get to fund much today, right? But, you know, when you're back on it, you're back on it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I've been laser focused, everyone. All thanks to this guy right here.
Yeah. So Kendall's part of John's team. But one thing that I want to tell you guys, like, this guy, I'll say it here, he's a future equity owner, future owner of the company. This guy's been there from the beginning. He's part of the team. So he kind of, like, takes a step back to allow his team to kill it, to prosper. So very humble man, very nice guy, like a lot of good in John. So I just want to tell all of you guys that I really respect and appreciate this guy. But without John, definitely the mortgage guys wouldn't be like the numbers that we are today. So thank you, John, and follow John. Where can people follow you, John?
At IG John.Delgado12.
John
Delgado
12. So follow them. Guys, appreciate you and thank you for joining. And stay tuned for next week, Wednesday.
Syl
And
wants to close it out with you.
Syl wants to close it out with me, so she'll be back.
It'll be coming.
Thank you, John, brother. Dude, Roger's gonna charge us overtime. How far are we into it now?
What was that fun?
An hour and 20,
An hour and 20?
25 about.
All right, guys. So
back.
wanna wrap it up?
Yep. I just put your dinner in our to get ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, I hope you guys got a lot of knowledge from this and you have some takeaways. And remember that at the end of the day,
And please follow John at John.Delgado.
Delgado.
So at John.Delgado12. Follow John.
he's amazing. He even got me an air fryer and it is the best thing ever. 'Cause I hate cooking. I just don't like it. And it's great. If you guys don't have one, it's called Ninja. And now I'm getting a better hang of how to do it. Yeah. So it's literally the best thing ever. I can leave my food there and go do other things as I like it and come back and my food is ready. So yeah, but anyway, we love you guys so much. I'm super happy that you guys are here. And if you do want to see that podcast that Albert went to go do, it's gonna go on Driven channel, in our Driven YouTube channel. So if you guys aren't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe. We always try to get you guys the best people, the best information, because again, it's for us, but it's also for you guys. So, love
Awesome,
you.
guys. And if you guys haven't joined or got your ticket for Driven Bootcamp, get it. What I'm doing is we have a founder ticket available. And if you guys get that founder ticket, you come to our Friday party here.
We have a potluck, yes.
We're gonna have turkey potluck.
Yeah.
Right? But it's gonna be like a party, like
For the company.
Kendall's gonna be there, right, Kendall? You be there?
Coming? Did you RSVP? All right.
Yeah. Okay. Kendall's gonna be there. We're gonna have a lot of. We have cool parties, guys. So get the founders ticket. I'll see you Friday. Love you guys. And if you guys are interested, send me a DM, comment, and see you guys next Friday, hopefully.
Bye.